At the risk of sounding like an influencer, I have had a lot of questions about my skincare. I have a history of battling severe cystic acne, which I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you today. I went from someone who had a 10-step multi-$100 skincare routine down to a 3-item routine that massively helped my skin heal. By the age of 18, I was diagnosed with PCOS, hypothyroidism, hypothalamic amenorrhea, dealt with a lot of symptoms, but the most debilitating one was my skin. I had chronic acne. The first few years, I tried everything Western medicine had to offer. I did the antibiotics. I did 2 rounds of Accutane. That is a story for another time. I actually dealt with severe side effects from that medication. I did birth control. I did spironolactone. I did everything under the sun. Sometimes things helped, sometimes they didn't, but my acne always came back. Fast forward to my early 20s, I had a visit with a dermatologist where I was essentially told that the only thing left to offer me was long-term Accutane and birth control for the rest of my life. No to that. There must be a different way. I went full force into holistic medicine, doing certifications, courses, anything I could get my hands on that would help me understand not just my skin, but why I was having so many hormone issues at such a young age. What's really crazy, fast forward to now, I don't have PCOS. I feel the best I've felt in my life, have a regular painless cycle, and I was told that this would probably never happen for me. My story of healing is a video for another day, and if you're interested in that, you tell me below and I will make one, but this is a video dedicated to sharing my acne journey and the shocking truth that less really is more when it comes to skincare. I had this 10 to 12 step skincare that I thought was it for managing my acne on the external, and I was doing all of these things internally. I was avoiding dairy, I was avoiding certain foods, I was constantly doing castor oil packs. Kind of felt like managing my skin was like a full-time job almost. There was something in me that said that this can't be like it sustainable. Then I got pregnant. The worst my skin has ever been. It was so painful that many nights I could not sleep on my face. It was deep cystic all on my neck, jawline, all over my face. I had every different kind of acne. So naturally that made me feel really good about myself, especially when I'm pregnant and you're already kind of emotional about everything that's changing. This was kind of a catalyst for me. Pregnancy is like a stress test on the body. It's kind of like thinking about a bank account. You know, my bank account was filled enough that I could make little deposits here and there, but when I went to go purchase a house, which is like what pregnancy is, the demands on your body, your thyroid, your nutrient stores, it's such a massive purchase. I overdrew my account. I knew deep down, because I knew my body and I knew my history, that acne like this was telling me something. My body was needing support, and it took me a while to figure it out. My thyroid definitely needed better support. My body was in a low energy bioavailable state, and it was pretty obvious. My detoxification was sluggish. It was having a hard time processing all the pregnancy and postpartum hormones. I ended up working with a woman who specialized in healing the skin barrier. It was a very eye-opening experience, and that if your skin barrier is compromised, you can be doing all of the things internally to heal, like the root causes of why you're getting acne, which is what I was doing, and I was seeing results in every area of my life. My energy, my digestion, my mood, my cycles, but my skin was still struggling. And that's the hard thing, is you have mainstream kind of Western medicine advice that says acne's all genetic, like take Accutane, birth control, retinol, there's pretty much nothing you can do about it, just take this medication. Or you have the holistic camp, which is it's all internal. If you just balance your hormones, you fix your digestion, all these things, your skin will clear up. What I learned in my story is that it's both. You have to address the internal causes of that inflammation and imbalance, but you also have to heal your skin barrier and focus externally on your actual skin. Because if you're like me, and you have a long history of acne, and your actual skin cells become damaged and leaky over time. And what she explained was that when you have a compromised skin barrier, you can actually just have cycles of inflammation within the skin where acne can kind of like produce more acne. Even when you're making all these internal changes, you can still have this like local cycle of inflammation happening. That made a lot of sense to me because, like I said, feeling really good, but my skin was really slow to heal. So having an aha moment when I went into my bathroom and I opened and I had this expensive retinol and these expensive moisturizers and these acids and this and this and that, all these different toners, all these things that I thought were supposed to be helping my skin, in my case, were making it worse. They were further aggravating my already compromised skin barrier. So we kind of came up with a plan of simplified, streamlined skincare routine that helped to bring the inflammation down and move to a phase that was more sustainable, something that supported my skin barrier. And that's what I want to share with you today. Right now, where my skin's at, I do not get cystic breakouts anymore. My skin is not perfect, and I still get breakouts around my period. I personally am not one to stress about that. But let's talk about skincare now, because that's what y'all came for. Basically, what I learned when it comes to skincare is that less is more. My focus is on supporting my skin's natural healing power, I guess you could say, not interfering with it, and then strategically using certain products to help move the needle in things I want to see improvement in. For me, right now, it's scarring. It's like pigment scarring and a little bit of texture. My skincare budget is like $5 a month, and I'm gonna share the products I use, why I use them. All right, it is morning. Before everyone's like, what is happening? Our bathroom bleeds into our bedroom, and there's usually a lot of light that comes in, waking my daughter up. So we covered this window with aluminum foil so it blocks the light. It's great, but that's why it looks weird like that. Normally I don't do a lot in the morning. I don't do anything unless I put on sunblock. We are going to the lake today though, so I'm definitely gonna put on some sunblock. I either use the My Shell unscented sun shield. This is one I've used off and on for many years. I just know that it does not break me out. I also really like the Pipette baby one. That's about half the price. They're both non-toxic, rated really low. This is like $22 and the Pipette one is about $12. And it only uses squalane. So if you don't like to use any seed oils on your face, then the squalane one is great. I don't have it with me. It's actually already in the car because we're bringing it to the lake. Here are all the cards. Oh, okay. Then at nighttime, I use Vanicream Gentle Facial Cleanser. I'll link all of these below. And then I use tea on my face as a toner. I make it using nettle tea. I keep it on hand because I drink it. I love nettle tea. And I make a little concentrate every week. I keep it in the fridge, and that's what I use as my toner. I go in with the Vanicream Gentle Daily. Can y'all see that? Gentle, or it's just daily facial, not gentle. Daily facial moisturizer. Affordable, fantastic for my sensitive, acne-prone skin. When my skin barrier was really struggling, it was like I had very dry, flaky skin, and then it also felt oily. Now, I don't feel like I have oily skin, and I don't feel like I have very dry skin. It feels pretty healthy, pretty balanced. My active that I use at night, I use this 2 to 3 times a week underneath my moisturizer, is the Mad Hippie Vitamin A Serum. Can you even see that? Come on, you. I'll link it below if you're interested. This is the priciest thing I use. I think it's about $30, but this lasts me about 5 to 6 months. But that's pretty much it. My skin was like an outward reminder that less really is more, and that what I desperately needed in that phase of my life, and honestly moving forward, is to simplify. Simplify my skincare. I simplified my life. I simplified the mental clutter and all the burdens of chasing down this research rabbit hole about what was causing this and XYZ, and it made an immense difference. If you're new here, I am Jess, and I am passionate about helping women cultivate contentment exactly where they are. And there is no challenge to cultivating contentment than when you have something like a severe skin issue, where you are battling the physical pain of it, the emotional pain of it. And so I just want to share like a couple quick things about this. You are someone that is walking in the insecurity of this, whether it's like psoriasis, eczema, acne. Your body is telling a story. Your body is communicating in symptoms, and that's what my body was doing. That does not make it any less painful. And so a few things that helped me mentally. One was decreasing my mirror time. I've shared about this in previous videos. This is actually where it came from. I had to stop with the obsessive time in front of the mirror, leaning into my skin, picking at my skin, hyper analyzing it. Number 2 is, as difficult as it is, stop shying away from the camera. I struggled with this when I was pregnant and in like the first few months postpartum, and I have such few pictures of myself with my newborn baby. I have a ton of pictures of her. I have so few of me with my daughter. I have such regret over that. No matter what your body looks like, no matter what your skin looks like, it can feel painful, but take the picture with your kid, because you're gonna regret not having captured the memory, and it reminds you too that like your life is more than just what's happening on the outside or this symptom that you're struggling with. It doesn't mean it's not painful, but your life is more than that. And then the last thing I'm gonna say, really mindful who you're following or what content you're intaking. If you need to get off social media, get off social media. If you need to stop watching a lot of movies because you're exposed to actresses that constantly have perfect skin or they're a certain size, get off of it. There is no shame in decluttering the content and the entertainment and what you are consuming in your brain if it is causing you to be more discontent and more ashamed of where you are at. I just want to encourage you that less really is more. You will always, I think, be going down the right path when you focus on simplification, and skincare is no different. I make videos on slow living, minimalism, intentional motherhood. If you're into that, I'd love to see you join our community. I will see you in the next video. Okay, so this is like a perfect example of what I'm talking about when it comes to not being ashamed. I knew that people had wanted this video. I had the freedom to film it this week, but I'm about to start my period this week. And as you can tell, I've got like, this is what I mean. This is very normal for around my period. I get like a couple little breakouts, nothing inflammatory, nothing cystic, but like I definitely get like little red bumps. And there was that thought that like, oh, I shouldn't film this now. I should wait for my period breakout to clear up, because it makes like, there's still a part of me that sometimes feels ashamed, or that, you know, I've only arrived if like I never get pimples anymore. And I was like, no, we're not gonna do that, Jessica, because this is very normal. And this is also where I'm at. And I feel like I could choose to focus on all of the ways my skin isn't perfect yet. The fact that I still have a lot of scarring, the fact that I still sometimes get breakouts or my period, or I could focus on how far I've come, and how much better I feel in my body, and how many of my symptoms are clear, and my period and my mood and everything is improved. And that's what I have to make the conscious decision to focus on. Yeah, real skin. It's a real thing.